Thursday, the 5th of January. Welcome to the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at the Car Giant Renault. We're live and interactive every morning, so if you'd like to get in touch while we're on it, email us at spy@mirror.co.uk, tweet us at footballspy, at mirrordarren, at MirrorFootball, and of course you can get in touch via YouTube later this morning. But let's start with a look through the transfer tales in the morning papers. Now, we like new names here on the Football Spy Show, so we're going to start with the Times Window Watch column. They say that Chelsea are in for the Cesar Azpilicueta, the right-back who played for Marseille against Arsenal in the Champions League last season. He cost £6 million when he moved from the Spanish club Osasuna 18 months ago and has played for Spain at youth level. Sticking with the Times, they say that Newcastle, fresh from that brilliant win over Manchester United last night, they've had an offer for the Dijon midfielder Benjamin Corgnet turned down. Now, he's 24, he's scored 7 times for his club this season, having joined from an amateur side in the French 5th division. Now, the Dijon coach Patrice Carteron is quoted here saying, "Newcastle's offer was very high, but we want Benjamin to continue to grow and play a full season in the top flight, and later he will be allowed to leave." Quoted elsewhere saying that he thinks that the player may well go for around about £10 million. Now, we know that lots of you watch the Football Spy Show from outside the UK, so if you've seen Benjamin Corgnet play, get in touch and let us know what you think of him. Now, the Sun say that after defeat last night, Manchester United are now monitoring developments with Gary Cahill's on-off transfer to Chelsea. Now, at the moment, that doesn't appear to be happening, and it would appear that Cahill, who scored last night for Bolton, is unhappy that details of his wage demands have been made public. The big story on the back page of the Scottish Daily Record is all about the Rangers striker Nikita Jelavic. He says that he's not trying to engineer a move out of Rangers, but he does say that he will agree to leave the club if selling him helps to ease their financial crisis. The records say that Rangers have handed an English agent, Simon Conning, written permission to find a buyer. And Jelavic has been linked with moves to QPR and Liverpool, no less. We'll keep you posted as to what happens with him right here on Football Spy. Now, Wayne Bridge is a target for QPR, according to the Daily Mail, who say that the Chelsea defender Alex is ready to turn his back on a move to Brazil and go instead to Loftus Road. Both those players would improve Neil Warnock's side. But this is interesting. On the back page of the Star, they say that QPR owner Tony Fernandes is ready to block a January transfer spending spree because he's got doubts over the future of Neil Warnock as manager. Now, we told you yesterday that Fulham want to sign the Argentina striker Maxi Lopez from Catania in Italy. Well, the Sun have followed up on that story today, right here in the corner. They say that the Fulham boss Martin Jol doesn't want to pay the £10 million that Catania want for Lopez, who's 27. The Sun say that Jol would prefer to pay around about £6 million, which, to be fair, does seem to be a bit more realistic. Now, talking of strikers, the rumours surrounding a Liverpool move for the Aston Villa frontman Darren Bent just won't go away. This story is on the website TalkSport. We'll get to that in a second. But the website goal.com saying that Villa themselves preparing a move for the Chelsea striker Didier Drogba to replace Darren Bent. They're going out on a limb with that one, but they say that as Chelsea are not giving Drogba the new 2-year contract that he's after, the Ivory Coast striker is set to leave in the summer. But that could all change if Liverpool come in for Bent. But I was at Chelsea for their defeat to Villa on New Year's Eve, and Alex McLeish, the Villa boss, was adamant that Bent would not be leaving the club this January. He appears to have reiterated as much to the radio station TalkSport this morning, as that story leads their website. Now, more transfer stories in a second, but first some of your messages. You're watching Football Spy, sponsored by our friends at the Car Giant Renault, and you've inundated us again on Twitter and on YouTube. Gareth Greenwood's a Villa fan. He says on our screen, any news on a loan move for Josh McEachran at Chelsea? Well, he says that he's heard that Aston Villa are front runners. Our own site, MirrorFootball.co.uk, is reporting today that Swansea and Aston Villa are both keen on taking him for the rest of the season. I asked you the other day to tell me the players that you would love your club to sign during this January transfer window. And again on our screen here at YouTube, Suicidal Maniac saying, I'd love at Liverpool to sign Mark Albrighton from Aston Villa. We need a good right or mid-winger who can, I think I've got that right. We need a good right winger who can score and cross. Any gossip on that front? Darren Pierce, love the show. Thanks very much. Well, no move for Mark Albrighton from Liverpool, but Liverpool have been linked with the right-sided attacker Edinson Cavani at Napoli, but there's no chance of him leaving a club not in the Champions League this month. Lots and lots of you are emailing me about a player called Luuk de Jong. So we've had a look at him for you. He's 21-year-old Dutch international striker. He's contracted to the Dutch club FC Twente until 2014. He's been a key man for them this season with 13 goals. Spurs, Liverpool and Newcastle all had a look at him, and he's been talking about wanting to move to the Premier League. He's told the FIFA official website, every footballer has dreams, me included. One is to play in a major competition, and the Premier League would be a great challenge. More of your messages, and Mr. Clem thinks Chelsea need to sign players in every position. Don't know about that for me, just one or two will do. Just a couple more stories for you before we end the show, and I'm going to take them from The Sun, because a couple of interesting ones here. In the top left-hand corner here, Arsenal on the trail of the Swansea defender Neil Taylor. He's 22, was earning £750 a week at Wrexham just 2 years ago, but he's been a vital part of Swansea's impressive start to the Premier League season. Also, Neda Manua, £4 million target for QPR on the left here. And on the right over here, Wigan stalling on a new deal for Victor Moses. He's only 21, remember. It seems as though he's been around forever. On the bench for the 4-1 home defeat by Sunderland, his agent saying that he's maybe ready to listen to offers. One other story here as well, the main one. Kevin De Bruyne, the gangster, is 20 years old. He was convinced he was on his way to Stamford Bridge last summer, but Chelsea refused to meet the £8 million asking price, but he does still think that Chelsea are ready to sign him this time around. But that's it for today. Rob's on the early shift waiting to update you on all of the breaking transfer news at mirrorfootball.co.uk. Football Spy is back in the morning. I'll see you next time.